Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Inside the Mind of Divine. This is episode 3, and I am excited for this one. I did a lot of research on it, like an intense amount. I've listened to a lot of podcasts and YouTube videos to research this episode, but today's drink of choice is a protein shake because I haven't eaten it today's, but yeah, if you guys are gonna grab your drinks, get ready for the episode. I no longer drink. I'm on a sobriety journey, and today is day 2, so you know. Anywho, today's episode is on feminine energy, light feminine energy, and dark feminine energy. And to First things first, the first thing that I want to note here is that we need to get out of the mindset that you have to be just like your idols, right? So this journey is catered to you. Your healing journey is catered to you and who you are, and you don't need to be like, oh, well, I'm not in my feminine energy because I don't wear skirts. That's not what that is, you know? I used to be really strong on I'll never be healed and happy or in my feminine era because I don't do these things like my mom does, or I don't do these things like my favorite YouTuber Alexis does, or because I've already messed up so I can't change. We need to get rid of that. Have to get rid of that. You can change. You can do what you want to do. You can be who you want to be, and it's okay. You are catering this to you. Being in your feminine energy has nothing to do with the material kind of things that you do. So it has nothing to do with what you wear. It has nothing to do with the kind of activities you like to do. It has everything to do with being true to yourself. It's all about the personality. It's not about the outside things you do with your life, okay? So you don't need to dress like Rihanna to be in your dark feminine energy. You don't need to dress like Halle Bailey. I don't know why that is so hard for me to say, but you don't need to dress like her to be in your light feminine energy. You just need to be you. Okay. So that's the first thing we have to note about this. Now, everyone has feminine energy. Everyone needs feminine energy. Whether you are a man or a woman, you need it. Okay. You have it. It's just different in how much you bring it out depending on who you are. So for a man, you know, you want to put, like, for a man, feminine energy looks like putting away that masculine urge to always explain yourself everywhere you go, to solve every problem. You know, it's putting away those defenses. You want to stop being so defensive. It's learning to listen. So you guys can listen to some things that I say. And for a woman, you know, you just want to make sure that in your relationships, your feminine energy should come out 80% of the time, you know, but you still do need masculine energy in your own time. And that's going to be a whole separate episode. But from what I'm gathering, everybody needs feminine energy. So everything I'm going to say, both man and woman can listen to this, but it is just more so for a man. You need to make sure that you're putting away the masculine urge to always be on the defense, right? So really, let's get into it. Feminine energy is more in your body and in your heart, whereas like masculine energy is more, I can speak English. I lost my track. It's masculine energy is more guided in your logic and problem solving, I guess you can say. Logic in your brain, it's more so that. So with your feminine energy is where your emotions come from. It's where you handle your emotions, how you handle the situations based off of your emotions, those kind of things. And so with feminine energy, it uncovers what you desire, and masculine energy brings that desire to life. So say I desire to be a podcaster. Like, that's really what I want. My feminine energy is telling me I want to be a podcaster. So then the masculine energy takes up over, and it gets me setting these things up, editing my videos, posting things, making sure I'm keeping on track of my Instagram and whatnot. So the desire comes from your feminine energy. It comes from your heart. the execution of your desires come from your masculine energy. It comes from your brain, your logic, your problem solving skills, all of those things, right? So things that you want to do, we're going to get into some things that are some key ingredients of your sometimes I can speak English occasionally. Key ingredients of your feminine energy. We're going to get into real quick about that, and then we're going to go separate them from light to dark. So key ingredients from your feminine energy that pertain to both light and dark. You only want to remain available for things that align with who you are and what to be and what you want to be. Thinking long term. So, I heard my favorite YouTuber, she says, hard choice now, easy life later. Easy choice now, hard life later, right? And so what that means is, and I think I explained this in another episode, so I won't go too much in depth for that, but it's just more so like, okay, the easy choice is for me to go to sleep and ignore my homework because I'm tired. But then that makes a hard life for me later because it's due tomorrow at 2:00 and I have to wake up in enough time to finish that assignment at 2:00 when I could just do it now because it's only 8:00, kind of beat. So you just want to make sure that you are always aligning with who you are, thinking long term. Everything that you do needs to align with who you are and who you want to be. So if you no longer want to be this gossiping kind of person who just goes out, parties, and gossips all day, you don't want to do that anymore, right? So you should only be doing things that align with you. So when your friends invite you out, if you don't want to be that kind of person anymore, don't go. Don't go if that's the kind of things that they're trying to do with you. Or if you know that you don't want to drink anymore. So like, for instance, I'm going drug free. I'm not smoking anymore. I'm not drinking anymore. I'm going to be completely sober, right? So in order for me, I'm thinking long term and I'm thinking things that align with who I am. I told my roommate and her boyfriend that they can still smoke in the house. I don't mind. But while they are smoking, I will be in my room. I'm not going to interrupt their time to smoke. I'm not going to sit and hang out with them and then they have to stay up late so that they can smoke. I'm not going to do that because that's interrupting their day. But if that does not align with me right now and I need to not be around that. So when they want to smoke, I'm just going to go in my room, get ready for bed, do whatever it is I need to do in my room. And that's fine. You see it because that aligns with my goals and what I want to be, right? So you only want to be available for things that align with you. You want this amazing partner who just is always there for you and marks every box on your list. Then you don't want to go with someone who does not align with all the boxes on your list. You don't want to go and give people chances for the benefit of the doubt and they're not checking any box on your list. You can't change people. So you always want to be with someone or doing things that is aligned with you and who you want to be. And that is key to being in your feminine energy. That is definitely your feminine energy saying, does this align with me? If not, then you move along, right? Another thing is feminine energy is more emotionally guided. It's your desires. So you feel like when you're doing it, you're going to feel like you're leaning back and you're allowing things to flow, right? Whereas in masculine energy, you're going to be like, you're always trying to do something, right? You're always trying to figure this out, answer this question. With feminine energy, you'll know that you're in your feminine energy if you feel like you have been leaning back, you're allowing your life to flow, you're not doing too much, you're living in the present moment and you're not being easily triggered. You see, so our masculine energy is what puts us on the defense all the time. It's what's triggering us. It's what causes us to argue with people, to get in fights at the bar, those kind of things. So you're in your feminine energy, you want to live in this present moment and you want to be able to not be so triggered. And what I mean by that is every little thing that somebody says to you should not bother you that much. You should be able to excuse yourself. If you do not align with this, you're like, okay, well, I don't want to have this conversation actually. Or it seems like this is not going anywhere. Instead of getting upset and arguing and always like, you know, so you just want to make sure that you are really in tune with yourself. You're in tune with yourself. Things don't trigger you as much when you are in your feminine energy, and you'll notice that things don't trigger you as much. So if you're normally the kind of person to go so hot-headed at something, and every time somebody talks to you, perfect example, that scene in that one Medea movie when she's talking to Dr. Phil and he's like, well, why you feel like you always got to get people? Well, because if they get me, I got to get them back and all this. And they're just talking about getting God, right? That is that masculine energy. And if you are in your feminine energy, you would not feel that way. People got you and you accept that, you analyze it, you move accordingly instead of always having to get somebody back, right? So some more key ingredients. We have like 3 more key ingredients and then we'll move on into light versus dark. But openness both physically and energetically. Body language is open and you're confident and inviting. So like that's your shoulders back, open. Your fists aren't always clenched even when you're just standing there. You're not like this all the time. Your head's not down all the time. Head, chin up, body's back. Your body language is very opening and inviting. And that puts you very well in your feminine energy. It gives you more confidence. It gives you more oomph to your day, I guess you can say, for lack of a better term. And you're open. It's inviting. People feel more in tune to come and speak to you and be around your presence because you're inviting, right? Your eyes are open a little wide. You seem relaxed. You're not so tense all the time, free of tension. So I'm going to practice that, you do some shoulder rolls and you sit where your shoulders land back and open, chest up, head up. Something that I didn't notice until I was watching one of Alexis's videos about feminine energy, and she was talking about this. She said that someone told her that to release the tension in your mouth. I don't know about you guys, but my teeth are always clenched. Oftentimes I find my teeth very clenched. My mouth is very tense all the time. My jaw is very tense all the time. Someone said to her to remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. When she said that and I did that, I was like, oh my God. Because it really does work. It really does do that. You release a lot of tension in your jaw when you remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Let your jaw hang. Let your tongue hang. Not open. Do not sit with your mouth open. That's kind of weird. But just in your mouth, remove your tongue from the top of your mouth, and that will release a lot of tension in your jaw. A lot of tension in your jaw. And I can exist. I can say things. But yes. So that is how you physically are open, right? That's physically being open and inviting. Now, being open energetically being open energetically means free of judgment, and you're understanding and you're open-minded, allowing people to show up as who they are, being receptive to others' ideas and opinions, being warm, inviting, being curious, showing up less defensive, always putting in effort to care for yourself and to be put together. So like energetically, you want to make sure that you are listening to people's opinions for understanding of who they are, not to judge who they are, not to tell them they're wrong, not to rebuttal, but you're just listening to them and understanding who they are and what their thought process is. Something I say all the time to people, like when conversations start getting heavy, right? And we're having like this little mini kind of debate thing. I personally do not go into conversations thinking I'm going to change somebody's mind, nor do I go into a conversation thinking my mind is going to change, because once you release that thought of your conversation, you have a way more productive conversation. And so I'm not expecting to change your mind. So that means that I'm just learning. I'm learning new things, and maybe my mind will change, but maybe it won't. And maybe your mind will change, but maybe it won't. And if you get out of the idea that you have to change somebody's mind, it will be easier for you to accept what they're saying. It'll be easier for you not to be so triggered, and it'll be easier for you to learn more things, right? And you learn a lot about people when you are not listening to judge them. And it's okay for people to have different opinions outside of yours. Like, you don't always have to agree with people, and your mind doesn't always have to change. That does not make the conversation pointless, though, just because you don't come to an understand or you don't come to an agreement or a compromise. You just come to an understanding. You understand that that is who that person is, and you just, again, move accordingly. You want to be open-minded. In your feminine energy, you are always open-minded. You're open to new experiences. You're open to new opinions about the world, and it's okay, right? But being closed-minded all the time sets in that defensive energy that we don't want. Right? We don't want to be on the defense all the time. So when you are not open-minded, you're always on the defense because somebody's opinion doesn't match yours. That's not fun. We don't always want to. Being on the defense is hard. I don't know about you guys, but it really is. It sucks, which is why I'm on this journey. Is I don't like to be so defensive all the time. It actually is quite annoying, right? Because you can feel that fire in your heart when you're always on the defense. You can feel that fire here. Your chest always feels tight. I don't like that. And you just want to allow people to show up as who they are. Don't try to change people, and don't be upset that you can't change somebody. And if somebody does not align with you and you have to let them go, so be it. It sucks. Yes, nobody wants to do that, but sometimes you're just gonna have to, and that's okay. It's okay. And you always want to, moving along from that, you want to put in effort to care of yourself and be put together all the time, right? And that is not saying that you always have to be dressed up. I'm not dressed up, but I am put together today. I put on my sweatshirt, my jeans. I have on my earrings. I didn't get to do my face care yet because I needed to do this before I have to go pick up my friend from the airport. But I just took a shower and I did the skincare down, but I have to put on a face mask, which is why I don't have anything on my face right now. You take your time to get ready. Take your time to feel good about yourself. It does not mean that you have to be dressed up all the time, but it does mean just take your time to feel good about yourself. And that will put you in an openness already. Energetically, you always feel good when you have taken the time to feel good about yourself. When you have not rushed getting out of the house, you've woken up in enough time so that you can do things that make you feel good about yourself, investing in your natural beauty and things that you actually like. It's about feeling good. And when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you do good, right? So you're investing in yourself and things that you like. You're doing things that you like. If you like reading books, find some time to read your book. It's okay to tell people, no, you don't want to hang out today. It's okay. It's all right. No, I don't have time for that today because I want to spend some time alone. And that's okay. And if somebody gets mad at that, then they weren't meant to be aligned with you anyways. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, this is what's going to make me feel good right now. That's not going to make me feel good right now. So I don't want to go do that. That's fine. So if it's, oh, dang, I really didn't have no time to play my game today, and that makes you sad, well, think about what you did in your day when you could have actually played your game instead of doing whatever else you did. So if it was, you were just sitting there with your friends and they just wanted, and all you did with your friends was drink and talk about things that you didn't care about, well, what you could have done was say, hey guys, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna go play my game. I'm going to go home, I'm going to go play my game, and I'll see you guys another time because I really want to play my game tonight before I go to bed. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Just, you want to make sure you are in your natural beauty and things that you like. So that also, the things that you like is also pertaining to how you dress, right? Just because somebody else you feel like is in their feminine energy dresses a certain way does not mean you have to dress that way. Looking good is how you feel like you look good. So if you don't like wearing skirts, don't force yourself to wear a skirt. If you don't feel like you look good in a skirt, if you don't feel like you look your best in a skirt, don't wear it. If you feel like you look best in your jeans, wear your jeans, babe. It's okay. Dress how you want to dress. Dress the way that it makes you feel good. If you like little earrings, but your idol always wears these big hoops and you feel like you need to wear big hoops in order to be like them, don't feel like that, because you will not feel good about yourself. You will not be in your feminine energy if you are not doing things that you actually like and that makes you feel good about yourself. And I had to come to this revelation like a week ago. I realized I don't always feel good about myself when I am dressing skimpy. I don't. I really don't. I like to dress more of a professional kind of way, a little bit modest, but not too. Like a midriff is cute, but when my titties and my booty are out, I don't know, I just feel like a piece of meat, right? But I realized that I was dressing that way because that's how I felt I could get the kind of attention that my bullies used to get, that used to make me feel bad about myself. They used to make me feel jealous. So now I'm trying to dress and act like these other people when in reality, I get a lot more attention when I'm being myself and I'm dressing like myself. And when I started to say, okay, I'm no longer going to go out dressed like this, I got way more attention that way. And it's not for the attention. It's not that I want it. That was like what started the thing when I was young and just wanted some kind of attention, because I grew up as the ugly kid. I was the ugly friend. So I wanted more attention. I wanted to figure out, how can I not be the ugly friend? That was not the case. It was because I was trying to be like everybody else that I was the ugly friend. Now that I'm just being me and I'm dressing how I want to dress and what makes me feel good, I'm doing a good job. Like, I can't go outside without getting looked at like a piece of meat, and I'm fully clothed. So it's being yourself. When you're in your feminine energy, you attract all kinds of great things. When you are being who you want to be and you're living for yourself, you attract everything that is for you. When you are in everything that you want. But when you are not living for yourself and you're trying to be like other people, you don't attract anything that you want. You're going to attract everything that gets on your nerves. Okay? So you want to make sure that you are investing in yourself. Okay? And that brings out that feminine energy when you are investing in yourself. And then there's also moving at a slower pace. Taking yourself out of survival mode. Again, that's that masculine energy that puts us in survival mode. You want to take yourself out of survival mode. Survival mode is not fun. It's not fun. It feels tense all the time. You're always anxious. You don't want to be in survival mode. You want to take yourself down to move at a slower pace. And that's something I had been working on for months. I'm still working on, because I used to be like, why do people talk so slow? Why is it taking you so long to do this? But then I had to sit back and look at myself. Why am I moving so fast? What am I in a rush for? What are we in rushes for? There's no need to be in a rush. So that is something that you want to think about and take your time to think about is, why am I in a rush? Don't be in a rush. It's okay not to be in a rush. It's hard to get out of that habit, because I naturally speak really fast and I have to actively think about slowing my words down. And that's because I'd always been in survival mode. I'm always speaking fast because as a kid, people would speak over me all the time. So if I didn't get my sentence out fast enough, I'd never be heard. So I speak really fast, and I'm trying to slow that down. I feel like I do talk slower now. I don't know. I hope so. But I try to talk a little slower. I try to move a little slower. I'm always in a rush, and I don't know why. So I started, okay, if you don't want to be in a rush anymore, wake up a little earlier so that you can take your time. But if you ever get the chance to slow down, you will notice that slowing down gets things done faster than rushing. Because when you're rushing, you forget a lot. You might leave something at home. Now you got to go back because you're rushing. When you slow down, you actually get the things done a lot faster than you do when you're trying to rush it, right? And then the last key ingredient is happiness. A woman who is happy is a woman in her feminine energy. A man who is happy is a man who has tapped into his feminine energy as well. Happiness is all about you. Nobody else can make you happier than you can make yourself. You cannot be happy with nobody else if you're not happy with yourself. You have to be happy. And as annoying as it may sound, happiness is very easy to come by. You just, if you don't want to feel some kind of way, don't. It's easier said than done. Absolutely. Easier said than done. However, it is really that easy at the same time. Just don't. You don't be sad anymore. Get up and distract yourself. Get up and do something that makes you happy instead of dwelling on that feeling. So when I was crying to my mom the other day and I'm telling her, like, this is making me sad. This makes me feel like this. This makes me feel like that. So she's like, okay, well, when you feel that way, go do your work. Throw yourself into your podcast. That makes you happy. Make an episode. Channel those feelings into something else. Channel those feelings into the gym. Channel those feelings into reading a book. Channel those feelings into whatever it is that you like to do. Whatever your hobbies are, whatever your craft is, channel those feelings into your craft. And then now you're able to make yourself happier because you have completed something in your craft, and that's letting you move along from the things that are dwelling on you. Assess your situation. Say, what can I control about this? What can I not? Let go of what you cannot. Control what you can. And then go throw yourself into your craft. Throw yourself into your craft. Not in a ignorance kind of way. Don't ignore your feelings. Like I said, assess your situation, assess your feelings, and then go target those feelings into something else positive. And that would make you feel like a much better person. And these are things I'm learning. I always want to make sure I put that emphasis in these episodes that this is not me telling you I know everything. This is me learning, and you guys are going on my healing journey with me. And hopefully we're doing it together. Okay? So I do not in no way, shape, or form think I know everything. All right? Or nor do I think that I'm completely healed or I'm doing all these like great things. No, I'm just on this journey and I'm bringing you with me, okay? But let's talk about the light feminine energy. Some things I learned about that. The light feminine energy is warm, loving, angelic, soft, open, natural, beautiful energy that you have. It's that soft feeling where, you know, a man is like, oh, you need to smile more. Or when a man comes to you and like, your smile is just so radiant. It's lighting up the room. Those are the kinds of things that your light feminine energy does. When you're smiling all the time and you look so open and beautiful, and it brings openness and beauty to the room around you because you are just this bright light. You're just this bright light. It's like a butterfly. Your light feminine energy is like a butterfly. You see a butterfly and you're like, oh my God, a butterfly. And that distracts you from everything. And it's so pretty, right? It's so pretty. It's like a butterfly. It's when you're radiating good feelings and everybody around you now has those same good feelings because that's all you're radiating. That good feelings are bouncing off of you all the time. That is that light feminine energy. You make stronger eye contact when you have light feminine energy. You're able to sit and talk to people and look them dead in their face, dead in their eye, and you have this conversation. You're smiling throughout it, and you're touching people. You're touching people through their eyes, through your eye contact, and you're touching them, and that's making their day just because you decided to listen to them thoroughly. You make better eye contact. That's something that I had to work on. I hate making eye contact with people. It always made me nervous, but I've been working on that, and eye contact is pretty cool. I don't know if you notice, right? The same way that I've been looking around the room in things in the video. If you guys are watching instead of listening, sorry if you're just listening. But if you're watching and you're looking at me, I am having a hard time keeping my focus on the camera, right? And that's what happens a lot when I'm talking to people as well. But I am working on it. I am trying to work on it. As of right now, there's only one person in this world I can make eye contact with the entire time I'm talking to him. But yeah. And then there's also being fully present in your conversation and the moment, right? So you're not having a conversation and also thinking about something that's happening tomorrow or something else you got to do later or something you just did. No, you're fully present in this conversation. You're making your eye contact. You are fully listening to these people. They're fully listening to you. You're fully expressing yourself. You're just fully present in your moment. I think in the last episode I mentioned about Joyce Meyer's anxiety book. You want to not be, when you're in your light feminine energy, you are not thinking about the world ahead of you. You're not thinking about tomorrow. You're not carrying tomorrow's weight with today's strength. You're just here in your moment, breathing, living, pulling it in, embracing it, right? And in your light feminine energy, you have integrity and your values are really strong. You make decisions and you stick to your morals, and your words and your decisions always are consistent with your character. That is something that is a trait of your light feminine energy. You are always consistent with who you are. Your words are consistent with who you are. You show up as yourself. You are not trying to impress other people. You are just who you are, and it's consistent all the time. Your words are consistent all the time. It's consistent with your character all the time. And you just live that fairy tale lifestyle, happy-go-lucky. That's that light feminine energy. You live that fairy tale lifestyle. You know that that's available for you. You are happy you're not all the time. Nobody's going to be happy 100% of the time, but you are generally happy all the time. Even in your sad moments, you know that generally your life is happy. You are happy. You're just sad right now. But generally, in a general sense, you're happy with your life, right? So it's okay, and you paint that fairy tale life. I've for the past couple of days, for the past couple of weeks, I have been just living a fairy tale life. I've been talking to myself as if everything that I've desired already exists. So I'm like, yeah, me and my life is going to be so great. I can't wait to get to that point. Me and the podcast are doing amazing. I have good fans and everything, and everybody loves it, and people are sharing it. I'm acting like this podcast is already viral because it is. And you can't tell me different. I'd watched something yesterday. Oh, the law of assumption. You tell yourself that this is already happening and it's gonna happen. So the example was this guy wanted to go to Barbados. He's in New York and he just wanted to go home to Barbados. And he goes to his friend and he's like, dude, I really want to go to Barbados. He's like, you're already there. You're already in Barbados. He said, no, I'm pretty sure I'm in New York. And he's like, nope, you're already in Barbados. Close the door in his face. And he comes back to him. He's like, dude, I really want to go to Barbados. And the guy gets mad. He's like, you're already in Barbados. And then somebody decided to send him a note. One of his family members sent him some money so that he can go back to Barbados. And he had to fly third class. And he goes to his friend. He's like, dude, I get to go to Barbados, but it's only in third class and blah, blah, blah. He said, no, you're going to Barbados in first class. I don't understand what you're talking about. You're going to Barbados in first class. And he was like, what are you talking about? So then he leaves on his plane. He goes to get on his plane and a seat opens up in first class. He goes to Barbados in first class. And the whole time, the friend is just trying to tell you, you can get to where you want if you're already in the mindset that you're there. So instead of being like, I want to be this, I want to be that, I hope to be this. No, you are that. I want to be an actor. No, I am an actor. I want to be an influencer. No, I am an influencer. I am an influencer. Just because I don't have thousands of followers does not make me not any less of an influencer. People still listen. I'm influencing somebody. And if I'm not influencing somebody else, I am influencing myself. Either way, I'm an influencer. You speak your life up. Anything that you want is going to come to you as long as you speak it up. So when you're always speaking negatively in your life, you hold this thought in your head, all men are trash, all women are trash. Then you're just going to keep attracting trash men and women. But if you're in there and you're like, nah, good people exist. My future husband is coming and I can't wait to meet him. My future wife is coming and I can't wait to meet her. And we're going to be the best couple. They're going to take care of me. I'm going to take care of them. We're always going to be understanding. Those kind of people are going to come to you when you believe that those kind of people exist. But the human nature is to prove our thoughts and our ideas all the time. So when you have these thoughts and your ideas and you're speaking them and you're thinking them all day long, that is what you're going to attract, and you won't attract anything better. You won't attract anything better. So you just want to make sure that you know, the law of assumption is very amazing. I think that it's very awesome because every time that I have tried and done that, it actually works. So like my senior year, I was like, dude, I'm a good student. I don't know why. Like, I'm a good student. I'm going to be a good student. I'm going to get this degree. I'm going to pass all my classes. I've already passed all my classes. I've already got this degree. It's here. And I did just exactly that. My grades skyrocketed my senior year. They were much better than my previous years. And I graduated and I got my degree. I'm having a good time. I'm here. You know, I'm here and I'm in the present. And I spoke these things into existence. And that's all you really need to do. Speak these things to existence, okay? Now, moving on to your dark feminine energy. A lot of people think that dark feminine energy is the same as masculine energy. It is not. It is not. It is still on that wave of, you know, how you handle yourself in your heart and your desires, not in your logic and your mind. Heart is feminine, mind masculine, right? And the dark feminine energy is that seductive, passionate energy. Think Rihanna. Think Angela Bassett. Oh, think Angela Bassett. I love Angela Bassett. But it's that seductive and your, you know, passionate energy that you bring in. And you don't always want to have your dark feminine energy out in all areas, you know, and you don't want to always have your light feminine energy out in all areas. There has to be a balance, like a cute little 50-50, you know. So when you are with your man or when you're with your man or you're with your woman or whoever when you're with your partner, you want to be in that dark feminine energy, that seductive energy, you know, when you're on a date and things. But when you are, say, with your partner's family, you don't want to have that out there. That's not going to be fun. In dark feminine energy radiates self-respect, and it's kind of like, you know, you're kind of intimidating to others. It's just a little intimidating. And like, so like I think my mom is more so heavy in her dark feminine energy. She owns a room. Owns it. Everybody's watching my mom when she walks into a room, and everybody's intimidated to speak to her, but not because they're scared of her, but they're intimidated because, wow, that's a woman. Wow. You know, and your dark feminine energy is that's the kind of thing. You have so much self-respect that it intimidates other people because they don't have that kind of self-respect. you know. And it does not complain, nor does it explain. You simply remove yourself. That's the difference between dark feminine energy and masculine energy, is that when in a masculine energy, you're always going to try to explain and prove yourself. With your dark feminine energy, you do not complain, you do not explain, you do not have to prove yourself. You just simply remove yourself from anything like that's disrespecting you. It's that, like, you're sticking up for yourself when you feel disrespected. So say somebody's pushing you out the way, or they're doing stupid things that, they're just being disrespectful in public. You respond to that in a way that's going to remove yourself from the situation, but you're not explaining yourself, nor are you getting defensive, nor are you complaining. Excuse me. You could have said, excuse me, and I would have moved out of your way. There was no need for you to push me. That's sticking up for yourself without being defensive, without being aggressive, without complaining. Just, hey, next time, please say excuse me instead of putting your hands on me because I do not know you. That's beautiful right there. Someone in her dark feminine energy loves herself enough to communicate her standards, or his standards. Anyone using their dark feminine energy is able to communicate all of their standards and stand on them. You stand on all of your standards, and you don't sit there and be like, it's okay because I really like this person, so I guess I'll just have to lower my standard for that. Nah, forget that, because that'll just make you feel bad in the long run. You don't want to lower your standards for anybody. Forget that. Okay, you stand in your standards and you're comfortable speaking on your standards. And something else in the dark feminine energy, the energy that guides you with passion, using desire's flowing heart. It leads you with self-respect and love and putting yourself first. So it's guiding you in a sense of this is what I want and that's what I'm gonna get. You're putting yourself first. And a lot of times people think that this can come off as selfish, but it's not. There is a healthy selfish and there's an unhealthy selfish, right? This is a healthy kind of selfish. You're putting yourself first. If this is not going to work for you, it's not going to work for you. So it's like, again, not lowering your standards, putting yourself first. Just because you don't accept, this is just who I am when somebody's disrespecting you. It's putting yourself first and saying, well, okay, if that's who you are, that's who you're going to be, and that's who you're going to stay, then you can stay that way. But I do not have to deal with you. I do not have to deal with who you are. If that's who you're going to be and that's who you're going to stay, you're going to disrespect my boundaries and my standards, then I don't need to be around you. And that's fine. It's okay. That's okay to be, to guide yourself with that kind of self-respect, okay? And the dark feminine energy connects and expresses their sensuality. It sets boundaries. It puts itself first. It's able to cut people off. I have that big issue of cutting people. I'm learning so hard to cut people off. I've been doing pretty good recently, but there's some people who are harder than others to cut off, right? But it's a hard thing. It's a hard task to do when you hold on to people, or when you have that fear of abandonment or loneliness, then it's hard for you to not cut people off. But I've been trying to cut people off when they are disrespecting me blatantly. If I have to tell you something hurts my feelings more than once, you do not care. Therefore, or I say more than twice. I give you 2 times. I'll tell you twice. And if I have to tell you more than twice, I'm going to assume that you do not care and you are going to continue to disrespect me. And so now I have to remove you. You do not get to align with my life anymore. The dark feminine energy is mysterious. It does not overshare. She keeps to herself. Okay. The dark feminine energy keeps to themselves. You do not overshare. And that's one thing that I've also been working on. I just talk a lot. I don't know why. I overshare. I used to overshare a lot. I've been a lot more private recently. I've been trying to keep myself. Everybody doesn't need to know your business. And that's my issue. That was an issue that I had, is everybody knew my business. And that way everybody was able to tell my business in their own version of my business, which was very annoying. So you're more mysterious. That more mysterious vibe. You walk into a room, people are like, I wonder about her all the time, And then the dark feminine energy is okay with missing out. You're okay with missing out. It's okay. You don't always have to go out with people. It's okay. And I know as college students, you have that fear of missing out all the time. Most college students have that fear of missing out. FOMO is a real bad disease going around as a college student, and you always feel like you have to be somewhere, you have to be at that party, you have to be at this. But sometimes it's better for you to miss out. It's better for you to miss out. There's been some parties where I really definitely could have not gone. That would have been great. If I did not go, my night would have probably been better. There's some things that I've done because I didn't want to miss out, and I should have missed out of that. The dark feminine energy knows the power of their absence and walking away, knowing the art of detachment. So again, going back to that, having to get your lick back. The best lick back that you can get is to leave. Know the art of detachment. The power of your absence. Your absence is powerful. Your absence is powerful. Instead of trying to get back, instead of trying to make people jealous, just disappear. Disappear. Silently disappear. And then they'll know the power of your absence. They'll be like, dang, I miss her. I shouldn't have done that. And maybe they'll end up coming to apologize, and maybe they won't. Either way, they're gonna miss you. But just know the power of your absence is way powerful than you giving them exactly the energy that they're looking for. People are looking for you to respond. People are looking for that. Don't give them that. Don't give them that. They don't, no. And then the last thing about it is you are your number one priority. Your dark feminine energy comes out when you are your number one priority. You don't put yourself behind just to put somebody else first. That's not how that works. You are always your number one priority. So yes, there are some other priorities in your life, your family, your husband, your wife, your whatever, your partner, your mom, your dad. Those are other priorities in your life. However, you should always come first. No matter your relationship to people, no matter what it is, no matter the job, you should always come first. You should always come first. If you're working a job that just tears you down, go find a new job. You come first. You come first, always. That is like one of the most beautiful traits of being in your dark feminine energy. You come first, and you stick to coming first, okay? Yeah, that's really all I had learned about the feminine energy things. I know that it's really hard to get into it. Oh, my camera stopped because the video was too long for my storage, but I was just wrapping up. We are having a good time. This is all I've learned about the feminine energy, and I hope that I have taught somebody else some things. I'm working my best on doing that. If you can see, my posture is a lot better. If you guys know me, my posture has been a lot better, and I've been getting some more compliments on my posture and like the energy I'm radiating. So I'm really excited to be this kind of person that I've always wanted to be. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want some more, we're here every Wednesday. Follow the Instagram at Inside the Mind of the Divine. Follow the YouTube channel at Inside the Life of Divine. And go check out my podcast with my roommate. It's called Let's Talk About It. You can follow that on Instagram at Let's Talk About It 572. And you can find it on YouTube at Let's Talk About It. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you next Wednesday. Good morning.